According to Abulafia, the Sephirot were beginners' Kabbalah. The entire Sephirot tree and the Zohar and the analysis of the Zohar by the Arizal was all beginners' Kabbalah, according to Abulafia, which the books are available for you to peruse. And what he did was a thing called Hitbodedot. Remember, the Rebbe Nachman of Breslov had a Hitbodedot, where you spoke to God for an hour a day in a secluded setting, usually in a field or in a room. Well, for Abulafia, his Hitbodedot, which is self-isolation, away from the group. And this is the very important thing, because he wasn't a follower of Rabbinic Judaism. Rabbinic Judaism is the group, the synagogue, the analysis through according to Abulafia, who did writings about Maimonides, this is the secret of Maimonides, the internal secret of Maimonides. There's always two levels of everything, and even in Sod, the secrets of Torah, there's the external level, which is the Sephirot, and then there's the internal level, the Sod, which is the meditative level. And, I've done hundreds of videos here and going over a couple of them. I have one that, says, close your eyes. And quite frankly, if you really want to know, for meditation, all you have to do is close your eyes. And again, I went to a Buddhist group the other night, and they say, keep your eyes open. Why? They want you to be involved in the world. Well, the secret is to close your eyes to get the Hitbodedot, the self, the deep aspects in communication with Hashem that can only come when you close the things off, when you close out the participation. And this is why sleep, to me, is the primary function of man, because his animal soul lies there virtually dead. His body. And he gets soul travel. So in the Hitbodedot of the Abulafia, the idea is three things. It's a combination of letters, the alphabet. If you can't read, more power to you, as far as I'm concerned. But you have to learn the letters. It's 22 letters. It's not too much to ask. Then you have to learn the gematria. That Aleph is 1, Bet is 2. That's not too much to ask. See? And then for Abulafia, used to do the vowel sounds. And actually, Rudolf Steiner in English used to do these vowel sounds and with body positions. Ah, ooh. My brother used to do that because he went to the Rudolf Steiner school. There's a thing called eurythmy you can look up by Rudolf Steiner. And so Abulafia did these things with the combination of letters and meditation and vowel sounds and the gematria. Very interesting thing is that, I'm doing this on the week of Bereshit. They had Shabbos Bereshit. And now this week is 6 days after Shabbos Bereshit. Bereshit is bara, created, sheet, 6. And so those are the permutations, 6 are the permutations of 3 letters. You see? And so I take the word bara and I permeate it, permute it, whatever the word is, 6 times. So you take a 3-letter root, here, bara, shis, that's created 6. Yes, he created 6 out of the bara. Created the 6 days of the week. So bet, resh, aleph is 1, then bet, aleph, resh. So develop these words. You might even look up the meanings of these words. Bara. What does it mean? What does it really mean? Does it mean created or does it mean outside? This is very deep. Because what are we in the 6? We're really outside. Outside of the 7th, which is beyond creation. See? And the Zohar, Tikkuni Zohar actually does 70 valuations of the word Bereshit. But again, now the secret of Abu Lafia and my secret is that when you want to shut out the world, shut out the social, you close your eyes. When you close your eyes, you open your body up to the sensation of touch. Otherwise, the eyes dominate everything. But then, and the eyes are so deep because it's the 4th level, and that's the ear is the 3rd level, is Shema. And it's strange that in the Shema itself, you're supposed to close your eyes and put the hand over your eyes in an Aleph position. So in the Shema, how deep this is. Shema means to hear. The only way you can hear is to close your eyes. Shield your eyes from the world. Then you can hear an internal hearing. You see? So strangely enough, hearing is higher than seeing. And this is all part of another thing that I do about oral Torah and oral speech, as opposed to learning the written words. Because the oral comes as a mother tongue. You know, langue de mer. What do they call it? Mammalian or something. Mother tongue. And everybody speaks. You have to learn how to read. And once you learn how to read, you've fallen into rabbinics and socialized Judaism, and you're never going to get to the self. Never. Just like I'm never going to get to it. Never. Never, never land. Twelfth of never. Never in my life. Never, never, never. And it's because of society. You can't get to yourself in the group. It takes you a lifetime to get out. And then you only perceive over the horizon. You don't get there yourself. Familiar? Isn't that Moses? Moshe doesn't get to the promised land. He can see it, perceive it, he can't get there. And that's us. That's me anyway. The other thing I want to say, and remember these are preparatory exercises when I speak like this for my own meditation. It's like I take music, or one is supposed to take, listen to music. You listen to music and that's not it. That's to set the stage for it, you see, for your own meditation. It's to get you into the state of meditation, and then you receive. But the music isn't it. They're Pied Pipers, but that's not it. You have to take that state that you get at. So when I play music, I play for a while, and then I get my song, so to speak. At the end of the half hour of the external going through the mill, then it comes about, and this is the same thing here. And that's why at the end of these little sea-coats that I give, these little conversations, it's the last couple minutes that I come up with some deep and interesting stuff. And they're 20-minute videos, and nobody's listening to the last couple minutes. So that's the story here. Another interesting thing for me, see, I think that sleep is the primary function. I think the eyes closed are the primary function. And I don't think you can read and get it. And I think the halakha, the essence of the halakha, there's two levels of halakha, and then essence of halakha. And the essence of halakha is what I'm talking about. Everything, there's two levels. Bereshit, two beginnings. See? There's two of everything. And I see rabbinics and the societal as limiting the self in a simple way, that people aren't ambidextrous. Imagine being here my whole life and not being ambidextrous. If something comes up to my left hand, I say, oh, I can't do that. Can't write with my left hand, stir coffee with my left hand, you know. Can't, you know, knives and forks and cuts. The best surgeons in the world are ambidextrous. And actually, that's what makes a man a good surgeon. It's the same way, who was it, Leonardo da Vinci in the Sistine Chapel. What a great painter he was, because in the weird spots, you know, this is a while ago, he didn't have automatic lift. He would paint with his left hand. See? So, if you want to develop your psyche, first develop the body. See? That's why a lot of my things, walking backwards, you know, 360-degree consciousness, using the left hand. These are all lead to, you know, leads to. They're not the thing in itself, but it leads to the thing. And this is it. The other thing I wanted to speak about is that I don't understand, if you're not Jewish, why you would want to learn Kabbalah. Do you have a Madonna complex? That you want to learn the highest of the high? The Kabbalah is only for a Jewish soul, because that Kabbalah means to receive. So it's only going to receive what's fitting for Judaism in a Jewish soul, and that's Kabbalah. Kabbalah, hey. Letter hey. Now, there are many other great systems out there. There's esoteric Christianity. Actually, Gurdjieff used to call his stuff esoteric Christianity. He included a lot of Islam there, but esoteric Christianity. Esoteric Sufism, Ibn Ben Arabi, Betzals of Wisdom is one of his books. Wonderful. If you're not Jewish. Sufism in general. All of Sufism. They even say that, you know, Maimonides' sons were, well, they didn't even say it's true. Maimonides' sons were Jewish Sufis. and Abu Lafia did a lot with Sufi mysticism. And quite frankly, in a certain sense, that's what they think that the Maimonides leads to. Maimonides wrote a lot in Arabic, you know. So all this stuff, if you're not Jewish, do the meditations from Buddhism or Christianity or your own religion. Or Islam is wonderful if you're not Jewish. But the idea of Jewish is to get the 1 out of 60. There are going to be 60 people who are in the rabbinics, and 1 is going to find it. If that's you, then fine. But you have to be Jewish first. If you don't have a Jewish soul, it's not going to stick. You see? It's not going to... The snow is not going to... It's going to melt on the ground. It's not going to stick. Sheleg is such a beautiful word. Snow. Shin, which is the highest letter. Ooh. Shin, the letter of the tefillin. Shin, the letter of the 2 shins on tefillin. Shin, the letter of the first letter of Shema. Shin, the letter of the first letter or the Shaddai that's supposed to be on the mezuzah, on the back of the mezuzah also, on the back of the parchment. Shin is such a beautiful letter. I forgot what I was saying. And that's the beauty. Higher than remembrance is to forget. Forget the intellect. Higher than remembrance is to forget. Remembrance comes out of Bina, the left side of the brain. Remembrance comes out of Chokhmah, the right side of the brain. That right side of the brain corresponds to the left hand. To forget intellect. To get beyond intellect into a space, meditative space. The only way to get into that is to function with the eyes, which is part of the Chokmah and part of the forget, is to close. If you close the eyes, if you close the eyes, you shut out the world. The world is what you are remembering. And then you go into an imagination, which is a dream state. It's almost like a nighttime dream in daytime. And you can ascend planes of what you would call your own imagination, your own fantasy. And this comes about by closing the eyes. Remember, in all my system, we breathe through the nose. The nose is the organ of breath. The mouth is the organ of speech and eating. But the nose is the organ of breath, in and out. It smells through the nose. And smell has a great influence on taste. But the object of the nose is to breathe. And that's it. Permit me to say the tongue to the roof of the mouth, which is an energy spot. The tongue, which is a phallus, into its energy spot on the roof of the mouth, which is a certain type of lock. In Hindu, Tantra and stuff like that, and in meditation, in yoga, they swallow the tongue, and tongue is a very big deal to lock, and it has a nectar. And for people who are brahmachari and kundalinists and celibates and nazirs, this energy back into the roof of the mouth is a nectar. And here we are. And so, the whole idea is to develop the individual out of the mass. When I was in school, they used to, show, read the poets, the French poets, and show how they were individuals. But if you try to become one, they kick you out of school. See? So we study the individuals, but if you become one, you're out. It's the same way with the Nazir in the normative situations of the societal and in the rabbinical world. Not accepted. How could that be? Because the esoteric isn't accepted. The 1 in 60 isn't accepted. The Bidl B'Shashim, rather than the Echad in B'Shashim. Dissolve in 60 rather than 1 in 60. Sleep is 1/60th of death. Try sleep. The Hisbodedot of Abulafia is the removal of the individual from the societal.